live? I think we're live. Are we? Are we? Yes. Okay, sorry. I just check a setting. Oh my god. Hello? Are we live?
Ready to eat meal.
Ah, what the fuck? Ads. Okay, I just want to hear him. I'm pretty sure you can hear me because Cornbread said that thing. But I like to know. That's not. It's the trust issues. You could always do 3 pictures. You know what, Cornbread? I would respect 3 pictures of SpongeBob. I would say that was correct. That was better than what I was going to do. Ads. Okay, there. We can hear. I can. Oh, well, yeah, that's true. Okay, I'm going to play this song one more time. Not that anyone's that thing. Hello. First off, sorry. Post the stuff. Okay, sorry. Let's post it. Twitter. Blue Sky. No, let's get her. I saw Purple Goop in there. I saw Austin. Sorry, going back. Nathaniel Fowler, Super Dusky, Jordan Salafalo, Cornbread. There's not a SpongeBob thing. All that stuff. I think at the end of the year, I was gonna say this. I'm gonna do a who was in. What was that? I don't know what that was. Who was in the thumbnails the most times? I think that would be cool. Like we can what the stats are. I don't know. I think K-pop Demon Hunters might. Javier Partello, Zane Powers. Look at this crowd tonight. Hello, I'm in the classic. The living room, basically, where the reviews are most of the time. It's honestly, it's not the set part that bugs me. It's that this chair is comfier than the chair I got to use in the kitchen. That's like the biggest thing I don't like about the kitchen. The light part, I don't care. I don't care. But yeah. But yeah. At the end of the year we'll do a set. But I feel like it's either K-pop or Sinners. I don't know. K-pop did the 2 and 1, so that's like that definitely gives K-pop Demon Hunters an edge. But you don't know. A lot could happen at the end of the year. I think Superman's up there. I don't know, but we'll have to count at a later date because the year's not over. If anyone wants to do them so far, you can do that in the Discord. Do we have a Rock Energy? No, you know what? It didn't look. Well, I guess I reveal. Oh, you don't know what it is yet. Well, first super chat, I will reveal what it is. I think that's fair. First off, before we start, I when I scheduled this and on the day, I was like, oh, I am doing a stream on 9/11. Wow. Okay. Didn't expect. I kind of. Anyway, apologies. I don't think it. I actually learned. I looked up because the lights. I can see the light. They do these lights every year in Manhattan in tribute to 9/11, or no, tribute to the tragedy of 9/11. Let me say that correctly. Sorry. And so I looked up facts about the lights, and I learned one interesting fact is there are almost 100 million people, 100 million Americans who have been born since 9/11, and so there's actually we're getting to the point where there's more people who've been born post 9/11 than remember 9/11, which is probably why I was writing about like we don't see as many posts about this because there's not as more people who are posting didn't. That was interesting. Anyway, they actually do the light tailor not at the site of the tribute, the pools they have there. It's at a parking garage, where it's where the lights come from. But they're still meaningful, regardless. I actually thought they were at the pools, but I never looked it up. I think everyone, if you asked, thought they were where at the site was. Anyway, I just found that interesting. But I didn't know 100. It's like 100 million people have died. That's a crazy. It's a crazy fact, dude. Dog with a blog. 9/11 truth or dog with a blog. Bloxy said instead of Chainsaw Man, watch Paul Blart Mall Cop. I have reviewed Paul Blart Mall Cop for the record, by the way. But I think I've only anyway. We'll get into Chainsaw Man. That is my. You can learn about. That'll be the first thing. Don't worry. But yes, I do get a watermelon one. This is Alani Energy. I got it at Walgreens because hey Zodberg, I needed to get some at Walgreens, and I saw it, and I actually didn't think it'd be cold. But this actually feels pretty cold. I actually could not find it in the fridge for a minute. When I posted, I might start early. That was one of the many issues. As soon as I said I'm going to start early, there's like all these issues happen. But anyway, yes, it was lost thread. Anyway, cheers to you, Loxy. Thank you very much for your first super chat of the night as well. This is the watermelon one. Pretty good. I don't do them enough, but they're pretty good. All right. Anyway, I didn't mean to offend it. I don't think anyone's offended, but regardless, the other uh hmm, hmm. the other thing. I don't have too much. Well, I do have movie stuff to talk about, but I think this is the bigger thing that happened to me this week since the last show, and then I'll talk about um a movie I watched. I guess is that there's something else and now I can't remember. But my cat Toulouse, which I had talked about how he was having health issues, he died on Sunday at home. Which is I think for the best, because he didn't like the vet. Sorry, didn't like the vet at all, and it was getting to the point where I really was like, okay, I got to figure this out with putting him down or something. And but he, we left to go do something. When I came back, he was gone. But it's sad. I'm still sort of I don't know, getting over mostly it's a lot because he's been in my life for 16 years. He's been here for 16 years. If you've watched this channel the entire time or these streams, and I'm saying like, oh, Toulouse or something, that's like he's been here the entire time these videos have been going on. So yeah, but he got to go away with his favorite, like the shirt of mine he always snuggled with. um so I think in the end it was like a good way to go. I'm gonna not talk about this too much because I don't want to cry on stream or something. But it was sad. I But he had a long life. I feel like he was good. We were trying to figure it out, but I'm glad. Not glad that he's gone, but I'm glad that the way it happened was good for him and something that he didn't get to be uncomfortable or something like that. And dealing with some a cat dead body and stuff is a whole thing. I'll maybe one day I'll get into it, but it's sad that he is gone. And I hope I don't know. It's just Buster now. I used to have 3 cats, and I have 1 cat, which is weird. But Buster and I have been hanging out a lot. We did a lot of watching TV, and I don't know, Monday night. The good thing is I've been actually getting stuff finished, and maybe this is a stupid thing to say because I have so many ideas and stuff. And it was nice to be like, I'm still productive, I guess. Not Sunday, I almost didn't post, but I was like, you know what? I just want to get these things out. And on Sunday or Monday, I just hung out with Buster and we just watched TV. And I think it was hard. He's a little, my other cat's a little miffed and all that stuff, but we've just been hanging out. And yeah, I don't know. It's been a little while. We watched, I don't know. And like when I was finishing something last night, he was sitting right next to me. So I think we're both, uh, you know, no, that's not insensitive, Zane Paris. I'll answer that. To be honest, I think Buster's older, and one, it like just happened. So there's that. I don't think even taking Buster to the vet, I don't even want to do till next year. I want to give him time to adjust. We all need to adjust, but also he's a little territorial, and I don't know if that would go over super well. But I think we need to get used to what's going on. But in my mind, like I don't know. I don't know how much longer I have left with him because he's 16 as well. So not to be a jerk or not, although he is in good health and he's doing well. But yeah, we'll see. But that you did not. I understand what you're saying, but yeah, it's been a weird, rough week. I'll say this, and this. Sorry, I keep saying I'm going to stop. If you ever, anytime I've had like, I guess both Olive when she died and Toulouse when he died, and any sort of major. I guess the only major deaths I've had in that time are, I guess, my cats. I can't think of anyone else. I don't know. But if you listen to the Willie Nelson album, the IRS tapes, um, it'll be easier now is an insanely great song about death and stuff that he wrote. But the IRS tapes, if you didn't know, it's this album Willie Nelson made because he owed a lot of tax money, and it was a very sad point in his life because he basically made an album to pay back the IRS. But it's like they took everything from him. Like he's this huge star. He's still a huge star, but they took everything. And so he sat down with his guitar Trigger. His guitar is named Trigger, if you know Willie Nelson lore. And it's just him and his guitar playing like all his hits and covers and all. I think it's mainly just his songs. So he could pay it back. Like it just all went to the IRS. But it is like there's other songs of his I've heard other versions of, like Yesterday's Wine and stuff like that. But the way he does it there, it's like a good. Now that I was crying the whole because I walked from there to like home. I needed a good long walk. But it's like a good cry of an album because I'm really sad at the beginning, and by the end I feel like oh the weight has lifted off me. So if you're ever like really sad and you know you just need to take a good walk and like clear your mind, it's a good album for that. It's also a good, really good album. The IRS tapes. It's on Spotify. They actually had to have a 1-800 number for it on TV, but it is like an insanely dark, sensitive fucking album. Uh, which is like kind of insane when you watch the ads because it's like the ads are silly and it's like a very intimate great album. And I heard it years ago because I heard a review and they're like it's actually really good, and it is. It's like, and he does a lot of covers, but there's a lot of those where like I know the originals and he like transforms it and it's just him and a guitar. Amazing album, and that really helped me a lot. Anyway, I'm sorry to start the show. I just want to be honest with what's going on. So cheers to Toulouse. This show is dedicated to him. Yeah. In a I actually recently I'm rewatching King of, and he's good. Willie Nelson rules. He has so many good songs. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, we watched Back to the Future. I think I talked about that last stream because we watched it on Friday. But since then I watched a different. I'd always wanted to watch Robert Zemeckis' Used Cars, which he also wrote with Bob Gale, and I heard it's really good. Kurt Russell's in it. And it's interesting because when you think of Zemeckis, you think of him as a, safe director, like he's not going to do too inappropriate stuff. He'll make inappropriate jokes, but Used Cars is like, it came out in 80, but it's like 70s Zemeckis. It's like Zemeckis was like dirty and raunchy and like, it's about these two car lots competing with each other and trying to like, they actually several times like interrupt television broadcasts. And I was like, how did I not see this movie till now? Kurt Russell deserves a lot more credit. I think he's a really great actor. But he is so good at a comment. Anyway, it's on Tubi, and I recommend. Used Cars was really good. I was glad I watched, but it's like the kind of great construction screenplay that you see in Back to the Future, but like if it was in a weird 70s movie. It's like fucking amazing. I was like, or no, sorry, a kind of dirty, grimy 70s. Like there's boobs in it and stuff. I was like, this is not the Zemeckis, the Back to the Future Roger Rabbit Zemeckis that I'm used to. I would has beef in it. I'm a little. Do you mean? I'm lost on that one. But no, I'd recommend Used Cars. If you like Back to the Future, it's worth a watch. It's a good movie. I like it. But yeah, also like Kurt Russell being kind of a slimy dude and being a little ironic pre-Carpenter. Like they kind of got that because Carpenter was always really good at doing that with him. Okay. Sorry. Videos. We had Caught Stealing was last night. I am working on The Bad Guys too. I'm sort of like, that's a major project, and to be honest, I think working on videos is sort of working on reviews is my video games and stuff, and I find it very de-stressing and stuff like that. So I wanted to work on stuff, so that's why you got sort of the Spike Lee thing, and I don't know when part 4 will come out. There's going to be a different almost in tomorrow, I believe, or this weekend. But Caught Stealing was an easier thing when you do, but I am going to work on Bad Guys 2, which I hope to come together either this weekend or next. I'm sorry I hyped up the new music release. I actually filmed the other part, and I need to just put everything together. That'll probably come out soon. The throwbacks, there was what was on Tuesday? It was Conjuring. Oh, American Ultra, which I don't think anybody gives a shit about now. But I was like, I remember this is sort of a bigger thing at the time, but I don't think that would age well. I might do the throwback of, I believe, I might look for a video Toulouse was in, which I think is Life of Pi, which I haven't seen since, but I feel like Ang Lee, we don't talk enough about a lot of his filmography. That was cool. Bet you didn't know Russell was in the new Smurfs. I didn't know that he is. Is that real? Are you fucking with me, Nathaniel Foga? I'm not gonna look that up, so I'll take your word for it. But if I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, man, it's crazy, Kurt Russell in the new Smurfs. Who's gonna fight me on that? Someone will. It'll be Nathaniel Foga's fault. Cheers, dude. Oh, what was I gonna say? But yeah, I'll do throwbacks. I know I'm doing The Walk, which was a big which maybe I should have done. Maybe I'll do earlier. I'm serious. I haven't watched Gemini Man. I really would like to. Anyway, I've been meaning to for since it came out. The Walk, which is about the walk over the guy who did the high wire thing over the two towers. The Zemeckis film, which was a great, I'm very serious, a very great IMAX experience, one of the best. That movie is really good when they break into the two towers and when he goes over does the high wire act, and everything else around it is garbage. But like in all seriousness, as soon as they break into the two towers, which I think was under construction at the time they did it, if I recall, it's been like 10 years. Amazing. Great IMAX experience. If someone could release just that, if you flip through it on TV or on Pluto or something, and you come into that part, that's the part, dude. The rest of that movie sucks. But I will always remember that part. The rest is like Joseph Gordon-Levitt go, oh, I am French. I go on the highway and smoke the cigarettes. You Americans and your cheeseburgers. I just imagine French people think that's all we do. But is it not true? Okay. So we need to talk about Gemini Man more. Yes. If you know what? I keep saying I'm going to see it and then I don't. But anyway, cheers to you, Austin. Cheers, man. All right. I can't think of anything else I need to bring up. The Saturday stream was interesting. I kind of enjoyed doing that. But energy-wise, I'm I want to watch my TV on Saturdays. I like my TV on Saturdays. So anyway, all right, let's get into this. Let me get all this set up here. Let's get into this. Okay, sorry. All right. This and everything I do is supported by you, the fans, either through Super Chat during the show where I'll drink this energy drink, which will give me lots of energy, which I definitely need right now. Or you can use my Patreon, which is a link below. You get all sorts of exclusive stuff like more power in the movie review vote. We're doing a special movie review vote now where there's going to be two winners. One is the one that gets voted on the most, and the other is the voted on the least, which I actually like doing because I really do like how the movie review vote makes me review all sorts of stuff, and this will continue that. And we can give someone a chance who doesn't usually get to win and all that stuff. But anyway, you get more power in the movie review vote. You get my commentary series. There's going to be one of those coming out soon. You get a postcard for your $10 and up Patreon. That's going to go out soon. All sorts of awesome stuff. Is going to thank you, Samuel. Is going to you can get by signing up, as well as the only way to watch my public access show on demand, or you can just watch a Brooklyn public access channel forever and hope it just randomly airs, which apparently sometimes maybe. So it's to watch that and all sorts of exclusive content. It also helps me be able to do what I do and continue to do what I do and continue to do this shit. And help me expand this and all this stuff and make flyers and post them up. There's some in Forbidden Planet and they actually go away, which is amazing. People take them. So yeah, if you'd like me to continue to do this and continue to spread, and you are financially able to do so, I very much appreciate it. If not, liking and subscribing very much helps. and very much helps the channel. But if you're just here and you're just watching, every now and then you just come in here and either leave a random comment or something. Thank you for being here. I very much appreciate it. It's really cool of you. Okay, where's the sorry. Um, okay, what was a no wait. Yeah, okay, and then there is the Discord, which has all. Oh, and sorry, before we do this, and for the super chats, if we get to multiples of $20, I have the lights go all flashy flashy for every $20 multiple. So if we get to that, they can go all flashy flashy and stuff for a little bit as a kind of neat little thing or whatever. But also you're watching Maximum Overdrive. The Discord, which is an amazing community. If you like everyone here, I seriously do get compliments on this community, which is a newer thing. Not that I don't know. I've never heard of anyone getting compliments on a YouTube community. So y'all are doing are really cool and really wonderful. And if you want to go hang out in the Discord, I do all sorts of cool stuff, like the general thing where I ask, like, what do you want me talking about movie crap tonight? Or daily questions, or on there we do a daily question daily. There's the licensed playing card channel, which I just have these from Fort McHenry because I need to get better cards and actually document these in there. There's video game discussions, artist self promo. They do a movie watches. They're doing Maximum Overdrive this Saturday. All sorts of fucking great stuff. And it's a really wonderful community. It's really great. It's linked in the description down below. It's run by Cornbread, Zane Powers, Austin, Ryan Walsherson. They do a wonderful job. Go check it out if you would like to. And I'm also on Twitter, Blue Sky, Tumblr, Facebook fan page, Instagram, TikTok, all in the description down below. I need to do a link sys at some point soon. Anyway, all right, let's get into it. So, Chainsaw Man. You're probably like, Jim, what the fuck is up with you and Chainsaw Man all of a sudden? So here's really what happened. I know about this for a while, and because I follow Kevin from the Roundtable, I think on everything I'm on, I'm pretty sure I have heard about the Chainsaw Man. Are you on Fubo? I don't know what the fuck that is, so no. I'm aware of it. I don't know what it is. But yes. Are you on Fleabee? I have a couple of the free ones. I've actually thought about reviewing the ones that aren't Pluto and Tubi because there's other ones. But anyway, what I was saying is, sorry about that. I was aware of Chainsaw Man. I've known about that forever, but I never watched it, and I was like, "What's the deal with it?" And then I saw the trailer for the movie because I'm like going through sites and making sure I cover everything, and I saw there's a trailer, and it's like I should at least talk about the trailer of the movie. So it was coming out soon, and I thought the trailer was really cool, and I started and was like, maybe I should uh maybe I should watch it. And a lot of time with anime, it's like I'll watch some like Demon Slayer. I watched like half of the first season, and I just got busy with other stuff. And I never got there. And I did watch all of One Punch Man. I was really into one. I don't know why I never reviewed the first season of One Punch Man. I love the first season of One Punch Man. But anyway, I was like, okay, I am excited for this trailer. This looks cool. I do actually want to see what that trailer is saying on the big screen. That looks awesome. And then I went, I should watch it. And since we merged, we had this Hulu account before, which was like somebody else's Hulu, and I didn't have it on my phone. It was only on TV and stuff. But then I can tell it's written by a chaotic millennial. But then I saw it was on, my Disney Plus Hulu merge thing. And I was like, I'm just gonna watch the first episode while I have lunch at work, and I really fucking liked it. Sorry, I liked the trailer. I sorry, I shouldn't have said that way. I really liked a lot of it, and I liked like how desperate he is, and he's in debt, and nothing's working out. I was like, can relate, dude. I get it. It seemed like a good first episode. I don't know how long I'll stay with it. I kind of want to because I liked watching Kill la Kill. And I like watching some anime. I don't take most anime suggestions just because a lot of times I'm like busy and I just want to, sometimes I just want to watch random stuff like that's just on TV. I don't want to watch something I'm reviewing and stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm sort of into it, so we'll see where it goes. But I think that trailer looks really cool. I didn't realize he turns into, I just thought he was like Chainsaw Man. And then he'd like, have to ride on the bus or something. And have all chainsaw stuff, and I was like, man, that's probably really hard. Like, where do you sit on the bus if you got only chainsaws? And it's like all chainsaws. And I didn't realize. I guess he turns into Chainsaw Man. He's not just Chainsaw Man, which is a lot more practical. But it would be funnier. How does he pee? You know, I know I'm being Tom Cruise auditioning for Edward Scissorhands, but like, these are questions I had. I didn't really go into it. I guess it's hard for him, but anyway, I maybe I'll look up the whole thing of it, but I'm enjoying it so far. It's also like sometimes like I'll watch a movie over several lunches or something like that, and it's hard to start something if I don't know when I'll get to watch it again. So it's kind of sometimes nice to have a show, and I don't know. I watched one. It seemed like the first episode setting shit up, but I rewatched the trailer because I was like, um, uh, yeah, Zodrick, thank you. That you get why I don't do anime a lot. But that's true. Um, Wait, during solo flow, he becomes more chainsaws throughout the scene. How you already have 3 chainsaws? How could you? Is his dick a chainsaw? What is? I don't understand. I don't understand. However, I will say one thing I like about the show is as like I've heard recently a lot of people hate the millennial TV show thing that they're like having an existential dilemma and they have no money and stuff, and it's a cliche. And I do like that anime it starts that way, like with the few animes I watch where it's like, One Punch Man or Chainsaw Man. And then it's like, oh man, I can release this depression. And then they get like a stupid superhero power, and it's like I was like, okay, and then it just goes off into fantasy, but that's cool. I like it's like let's just go off. No more depression and existentialism. Let's let's chainsaw zombies in half. Uh, but yeah, it's I don't know. I literally I watched the first one. I was sort of into it. I am confused. So like between Demon Slayer, K-pop Demon Hunters, and this, like, what's going on with the demon thing? What is it like? I don't know. Like they don't have zombie. I guess I know they're like not as into vampires or something, but like I don't. What is up with a lot of demons? I mean, it's cool, but it's just like a lot of demons. What's going on there? Hey, is Mars still burning? How's it going? But yeah, but I'm into it so far. We'll see how far I go. I've only watched the subs. It's mainly just because I'm watching it. I don't know, watch it sort of on my phone and stuff, and like I'm eating, and it's like dub. Or sorry, watching with dub. Yeah, as subs is a little more difficult, but when you're doing that stuff, I don't want to miss nothing. But I'm into it so far. But yeah, I'm mainly like anytime I think the trailer of that movie seems really cool. So I kind of would like to watch that on the big screen. So maybe I don't know. We'll see if I get there. I already sort of get it, like, because he's talking about how he wants to be with a girl in the first episode, and then there's this girl who likes him in the movie trailer. So I'm guessing he doesn't get any between the first episode and the movie. And I read that the movie takes place after the first season, so I'm not gonna be lost. So I'm like, maybe this is an achievable anime goal, and maybe I'll review season 1. No guarantees. I might watch episode 2, and be like, "Fuck this," but we'll see. I'm gonna try. But this is my big announcement. I've watched an episode of Chainsaw Man, but the trailer looks really sick. I will say, if it's just maybe I'll just watch the movie. But the movie looked. It was a really good trailer. It's probably one of my favorite. There's a couple other trailers I really like, but that's anyway. We don't need to dwell on. But I'm sort of into the Chainsaw Man. I don't know. I like it so far. I also like. I get really bored of modern big prestige shows because it's like here's 2 sets, and you're like, oh okay, all right. It's like everything's dark. Why? It is. And like sometimes I like watching an anime thing, uh, like Chainsaw Man, and it's like, why does he have chainsaws? Who the fuck cares? It looks cool. I'd much rather. I don't know. I like the older I get. I think I've said this before. I like visual, like like stuff that's visually interesting. And the more that I think everyone else gets older, they're like, what's Conclave? It's a bunch of priests in a fucking room. I'm like, I don't want to. What? I got to care about somebody else's workplace drama. This sucks. Anyway. Um, let's let's move on. So the Beast Boy thing. This is a weird story because there's not an ending to it yet, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. Let me say that right now. This is confusing. By a big degree. So let's tell the whole story. You don't have to get mad at me because it doesn't really make sense. So the Beast Boy, the voice of Beast Boy, um, uh, Greg Sipes, revealed earlier, I guess this year or earlier at some point, that he was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And he says that after he was diagnosed, he was fired by Warner Brothers on Valentine's Day, I believe, of this year. Then, and everyone was like, oh, that's bullshit. No, it was reported by like this Gunverse person, but I think Greg Sipes responded to it. But then everyone's like, well, how could he be fired on Valentine's Day? There's posts of him on Instagram, I think it's, or a reel or whatever, a vertical video type thing. I guess they're called reels to everyone. I don't fucking know. But we don't need to figure that out today. But that he's saying the cast got my back, the studio's got my back, and then he kept posting things since Valentine's Day, several things about how he's recording, how he's doing this and stuff like that. Now, the only thing I can think of that causes this discrepancy is like what I was saying, like how I was chilling on Monday. I just like had a video done. I posted it. A lot of people will do stuff like that and schedule it and just forget about it. Maybe. I don't think that's true because that's like too far in advance. Maybe it was like, oh, that's when the release is, like you can talk about what you recorded a little bit or something like that. That's the only like kind of thing I can think of there. But almost everybody's confused. There's sort of rumors that he was fired because he's extremely anti-vax, which is like, just, I don't know. That's whatever with that shit. I hate when people are anti-vax. It's like, and then they talk about it all the time too. Can you just like, whatever. Anyway, but Warner's responded like they did remove him from being Beast Boy because of performance issues. And then they gave him a development deal and a new character. It doesn't seem to me like they really fired him. It seems to me like if they said performance issues, I don't know how bad his Parkinson's is or like what's going on there. I do know like sometimes with voice actors you can hear the age or like if they're not doing as well in their voice. You can hear that, and maybe because Beast Boy is so high energy, and it did sound like in some of those reels his energy wasn't there as much. And I'm like making a lot of grand assumptions here. This is like a theory. It is not clear. But what I'm assuming what happened is they're like, okay, this guy clearly can't do Beast Boy the way he could. But we don't want to, like, he just got Parkinson's. Like, we love this guy. We've been working for him for all this time. Let's not throw him out on the street. He can have a development deal to give him some, like, it's like a bullshit money Hollywood thing. Yes and no. Maybe he's developed. Maybe he has a good series. I don't know. But anyway, they're throwing him some money. They made a new character that works for his voice performance. So it didn't seem like they're like, fuck you, dude. It sounded like they're like, we can't let you do Beast Boy anymore. But I also am like, well, why are you talking to the press and saying shit about WB when it does like sound like they reasonably figured out a solution that worked out for both of you, which in my mind is not getting fired. Maybe this happened on Valentine's Day, and maybe you're salty about losing Beast Boy, but it's just confusing. I really wish he hadn't, like, I wish he would clear this up, and I kept looking if he had, but it's very weird that he's doing it this way. I really wish he wasn't. But Nathaniel Focus said he saw him at a con last week with the voice of Robin, and things seem chill there. So I am lost on what's going on here. It's a very confusing situation. If WB did, like, from what has been reported and stuff, they did like, we're like, hey, we don't want you to be Beast Boy, but we're gonna still give you a job basically and make sure you're okay and stuff like that. That I don't think WB is in the wrong there, because like they didn't just kick him out and were dicks about it, and they found a way to like keep, I don't know though. because this is confusing and weird now. So I think he should clear it up. A few weeks ago. Okay, but still, it was like within a month. It sounds like. But yeah, it's we'll see what's going on here. This is a weird situation. I don't late August. Yeah, that's still. I don't know. I don't know what he was doing. If that is true, if Warner's is lying. But then why were you posting that? Like, explain what's going on. Like, to me, it's like, this is the mess Greg Sipes created, not like the way it is now. This is Greg Sipes, I think, has a responsibility that he should respond. If you're being honest there. And Warner's has responded, actually. So I do think he needs to, we'll figure it out. But to me, it's like, I'm confused. So I also did not know the anti vax thing. I was like, oh. What is up with people in California? I don't know. I've never visited there, so what do I know? I've never been to California. So, all right. Okay. We're gonna talk about one thing that involves, I guess, a controversial thing which you notice I have not mentioned. I would say my big thing with this is, I don't like to. I think a lot of people like to talk about like, haha, conservative people do this, you know this, and they know all their names. As I've said before, this is all sort of a tactic in some weird way to get more into places and get their ideas out and get you to hear them. I understand that guy. I'm not going to name him. Died. R.I.P. to him and friends and family and stuff. But I don't really want to promote what he was doing in any way, and I don't really want to promote any of those kind of people. I'm sort of like I did post a thing, and I'm like, I'm just going to be apathetic to all those guys. Like, I have to hear about Trump and Vance and those dudes, but the rest of them, they're you God and the Wu-Tang Clan to me, and I think that's as nice of a compliment as I could say. But someone who knows the Wu-Tang Clan, that's a pretty not so good thing. There was an episode of South Park titled "Got a Nut" that premiered on August 6th that had a character that was sort of parodying Charlie Kirk. And Charlie Kirk actually thought the episode was funny. From my understanding, I didn't fully research. I haven't watched this episode. I really haven't. I've only watched the first one of the new South Parks. But yeah, it was taken off from air. I don't know if it was taken down from Paramount Plus. In my mind, like, if Charlie Kirk is fine with it, I don't see what the big deal is. They weren't making a shooting joke; they just reference him. And if he apparently even made Cartman his avatar for a little bit, it sounds to me like this shouldn't be banned. I understand people are very nervous about the conservatives and all that stuff, so they probably took it off. But it's like taking it off cable TV in 2025 is sort of like, I don't really know if that really makes I don't know, seems very performative. It's still on streaming to my understanding. This has been taken down from TV, but I don't know how much it was even airing, so it seems a little silly to me. But whatever. This season of South Park seems to be actually being a little controversial in some ways, which is interesting. All right, moving on. The BioShock movie. What's going on with the BioShock movie? Some minor update. Yeah, I know, whatever. Some minor updates here. I'm glad that you guys don't like me talking about this stuff because I don't like it. So maybe I acknowledge it. There we go. The BioShock movie, which is going to be directed by Francis Lawrence. He apparently is who's doing The Long Walk, which is coming out this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to see that. I might just see Weapons because the show times are not in my favor. But he says after he does, he's already committed to doing he did The Long Walk. He's doing the next Hunger Games movie. And so I'm just waiting for whenever the next Hunger Games movie is completed. So after the Hunger Games, is done, then he'll work on the BioShock movie. There's really not much else other like there's no more like other involved like news about that really. It's just like Francis Lawrence is going to work on the BioShock movie. It is going to happen. Um, but we'll see. I'm not against the long walk. It's more of just a time issue. Maybe I'll see it because I really want to see him, but I don't know. I only have so much time, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, there's not much. I just wanted to bring up that Francis. I don't know if Francis Lawrence. I don't know if I would get him to do a Bioshock movie. I don't know who would. I don't know enough about it. But with those cool suits and shit, I don't know. I mean, probably Del Toro. But if we're being basic, I don't. More interesting, I'm not sure. But like, I'm like iffy on Francis Lawrence as a director. But I don't know. I'm not a big Hunger Games guy. Like I didn't like that second one as much as everyone else did. I'm kind of like I don't know. I never really think about. I think I've done some throwbacks because they were so big and like everyone's like you got to see them. And I saw them all. But yeah, my wife was the other day was like, wait, did we see them? She was in what? He was in what now? Like nobody even remembers. All right. Okay. Let's talk about The Rock. Any sorry, I guess I'll have to say the super chat thing. I'm sorry, guys. If anyone has any more, hit me up. All right, The Rock and his chance at getting an Oscar. This is sort of like basically what The Rock did at we talked about the Venice Film Festival last week. There isn't really much more. Jim Jarmusch won, and Benny, I think it was Benny or whoever directed the Smash Machine won Best Director. Smashing Machine is obviously. I don't think that Jim Jarmusch thing is probably going to get a lot of Oscar attention, most likely, but I do think the Smashing Machine will, and we're going to see a lot of Smashing Machine shit. And The Rock was very much like, "Hey, this is my career now. I'm working with the Safdies or one of the Safdies." He did say he's working on this guy who did the Lizard music book, and it's about he's losing weight to play a 70-year-old man whose best friend is a chicken, and known as the Chicken Man. It's okay. But he showed that he was losing weight, and he also showed uh that he's talked about how he likes doing these sort of different things. And I saw a lot of like film people posting things about how he was good in Pain and Gain and all this stuff. I've actually always thought he was a good actor. He just like isn't good at picking roles. But I do think the one thing he's not bringing up is the Moana live action next year is still happening. Jumanji 3 is still happening. It does seem like he's still going to do blockbusters, but the movies in between the blockbusters won't just be other blockbusters, or comedies with Kevin Hart. I think he started being like, okay, maybe I can do a lot more with my screen presence. And I think like the Black Adam thing's interesting because it didn't open terribly, but obviously nobody fucking liked it. And I think he cares about the quality, and I think he saw like where this was going was not a good direction and changed his mind and stuff. But what we're probably going to see from The Rock from now on, it seemed like it was very purposely. I'm sure his agent and all those people were like, this is the weekend we got to sell, like, you're the new Rock now. This is we're soft launching The Rock being the actor guy thing. And totally understandable. But well, I think uh I'm not I'm yeah, that I don't know. Yeah, Snitch is interesting. I'll say I don't want to get into Snitch, but yeah, that getting mug scene did not work because he's The Rock. So but I do think like he can be an interesting actor. I hope he does more stuff. I hope he just doesn't do Safdie shit. He does seem to do that where he like likes a director and he keeps coming back. And I hope he doesn't just do that. I think he could do more. I'm not sure if like that Scorsese thing with him, because maybe that was like the real soft launch was like him, DiCaprio, Scorsese, Emily Blunt. Like maybe that'll happen. Maybe I mean, I think he would do well in a Scorsese film. Like if we're being real about it. But we'll see. I haven't seen Smashing Machine. I'm excited to see it. It's interesting. Him and Emily Blunt are like this duo. Should I see Jungle Cruise before Smashing Machine? Will I be lost? Is it the true sequel? Maybe I need to. But yeah, he is still doing blockbusters. He's not, an actor only guy. He's still The Rock, but I think he's gonna sell. I think he was smart enough to notice the selling, his fucking tequila and his energy drink and all this stuff, the Black Adam premiere. I think he was like, maybe that was like the tip, and he's like let's calm it down. But he also like he has the Moana thing. There's gonna be a Moana 3 at some point. You know what I mean? Even though, does anyone even talk about Moana 2? I don't think they do. So so yeah, but it's interesting to see him going forward on with his career. It'll be interesting. All right, moving on. Michael Caine. This is both. Wait, Michael Caine is coming back, and wait, what? So Michael Caine, who retired, said he is, or apparently was announced, is that he is going to return to acting for The Last Witch Hunter 2, which seems confusing because The Last Witch Hunter came out like 10 years ago. Apparently, it was a huge hit on Netflix. It also did very well internationally. Um, and yeah, did a lot better than anyone expected, to be honest with you. And especially in the years since. And so now they're going to make a Last Witch Hunter 2. Apparently, Michael Caine was in the first one. I would say most likely, it seems like he is actually going to do it. He's probably going to do it because like he's very famous for his Jaws 4 thing, where he's like, I never saw the movie, but I saw the house that Jaws 4 paid for. So I think he's like he's very much like, I'll take a payday, dude. And I think he's probably like, yeah, why, I'll do Last Witch Hunter 2, and just it'll go to my kids. And that's apparently like everyone's saying, like it's just a payday thing. If Michael Caine wants to come back and do like a quick blockbuster payday, I don't think that's too difficult or anything like that. I didn't see The Last Witch Hunter though, which is based on his Vin Diesel's D&D character or something. But I mean, it's probably the same thing with like Triple X3, where in America it did like, whatever, but internationally it did huge. So yeah. I do know. I think I have it later, but I'll say the head of Universal. Was it the head of Universal? Where did I put that? The head of Universal said they were embarrassed that she says, "Oh, Fast and Furious in space was too far." And there has been a rumor that they're talking about doing a Fast and Furious show on Peacock, which I'm like, whatever. But Donna Langley, who runs Universal, said, "I'm sorry that we sent them into space. We can never get the genie back in the bottle after you send them to space." I disagree because I'm like, I'm sorry. I know I said some dumb thing. Like, I'm sorry, woke has gone too far if we're apologizing for Fast and Furious ridiculousness. But he says, we knew that we had to figure out how to grow it. We had a conscious decision to pivot to a sort of glow striking heist scenario past a certain point. Um, but I just think, to me, it's like, come on. Fast and Furious had to go to space. Everyone was joking about it. You can't. I don't like that she said that. Like, and it kind of stinks that she's like no, Fast and Furious should have done that. No, fuck that. Fast and Furious should go into other dimensions. I want to see who was almost Paul Walker's part. I want to see Ja Rule. What would have he been like in Tokyo Drift? Like, come on, man. Like, don't. I was disappointed by those comments. Like, you can't go back. Yeah, that was the. I don't know. Still, the greatest thing they did was the runway that's longer than any wrong, like the runway scene, and the runway is longer than any runway on Earth. And then the part where Gal Gadot, like she's like, they're like, she's gonna get thrown off, and then she just like falls into the darkness, and then you never see her again. I guess she comes back at the end of 10 or whatever, but it's just whatever. But 11, there's been no movement on. So I don't know about 11, but there is rumors that there might be a show. But I'm like, I don't know. Part of me thinks like, what happened with Mission Impossible? If I this summer in that box office, I would say, you missed your shot. You should have ended Fast and Furious already. Like, I think they're waiting too long. Guillermo del Toro announced this movie Fury, which he compares to a violent My Dinner with Andre with Oscar Isaacs. He just sells this like a big action violent movie, um, which I think sounds cool, but we don't know much about it. But he was hyping it up a bit, and it sounds really neat. I like it when he does original stuff, and he has done like sort of two. I wouldn't say remakes, but new versions of recently. So, all right. let's get into this. Is um not wonderful. OpenAI is making a movie called Critters. It is going to cost $30 million according to them, or 30 or 40, and they say they're going to take it to the Cannes Film Festival. There was some debate if it was the festival or the Cannes Market, which is a different thing than the festival. The festival is the prestigious thing. The market, where they sell ridiculous stuff. Most people think it is the market because you can't just say you're in the Cannes Film Festival. They haven't announced what's in the Cannes Film Festival yet, which is a ways away. But yes, they're selling that they're going to have this movie. They've had a short and all this stuff. One, like, I guess Critters, because of the other movie Critters, which Raphael sees in Ninja Turtles movie. I also think it's hilarious. They're like, oh, this is so much cheaper than most animated things. There's literally a movie, I think it's in China or something, a 2D animated movie that cost $20 million and is doing really well. So you've actually not proved AI works. I was like, but why did it cost 30 million? I don't understand how it cost $30 million. Like, I thought your whole thing was it was going to cost a fraction. There's literally a cheaper animated movie doing well right now. That doesn't make any sense. Like, what the fuck? Like, I thought 30 million. Who's getting paid? The computer? Like, I don't understand. What is this shit? Like, it's $30 million. You failed. You fucking failed. I don't understand. I don't understand this at all. And they're claiming they're in the film festival is ridiculous. Almost everyone I heard on a podcast or something was saying, like, oh, well, they mean the marketplace. And then I read the report. I'm like, no, they mean the Cannes Film Festival, which I don't know why they think that. And if the Cannes Film Festival does let them in, that would be a huge fuck you. And France is like, where the auteur theory came from. They're not going to be into that. So I don't know what they're thinking with this one and how they're going to sell it. Supposedly they want to get celebrity voices. As well as writers from Paddington 3 are involved or something. I don't know. This sounds the dumbest shit ever, and it sounds very presumptive and very AI people. I think they're probably, it's like those people you talk to if you ever work on wait, what? Dogman is 20 million too. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Dogman's cheaper and made money. Whatever. Yeah, this is embarrassing figures. But no, if you ever work with someone on a film and they will like basically be like, no, I know a guy and I'll get into this film festival, it's always bullshit. Unless their name is like, if it is Scorsese or if it is like somebody like that, like, yeah, obviously people are going to see that movie. But like, I love when people say that. I'm like, what? Like, do you know how many films, like even good films get rejected? Like, anyway. I got it. Tax write-off AI movies. It's free money. You know what? Yeah, write them all off so we never have to see them. Oh, 10 million more. Sorry. Still cornbread. Still, it's not a significant enough of a decrease that makes AI worth it. You know what I mean? Anyway, cheers to you, Zane Post. Thank you very much. All right. I just thought it was funny because at the global box, what is that movie called? I forget. It's not out here yet, but it's like keeps doing well overseas. Same with like how much is the Demon Slayer movie that's going to make? I'm very curious what that's going to do this weekend. Okay. This is a quick one. Elio is going to be on Disney Plus on the 17th, so I guess sort of next weekend. So that's cool. If you didn't see Elio, if kids are into it with the space stuff, just be nice to them and tell them later how it sucks and stuff. Jordan Peele, apparently the thing with the script is he's taking his time with the script. For his next thing, and the script really wasn't finished, and then Universal was like, why don't we just take it off the schedule because we're not going to make that date. Supposedly he's still working. He's kind of figuring it out because he had like 3 huge hits in a row, and that's what's being reported. With people, we'll see what's going on there, but that's really all we know. I'm assuming we'll get some more interviews with him with the release of him, but we'll see. Marlon Wayans, who is also in him, I didn't mean that to do on purpose, but it works, announced the movies that they are definitely parodying in Scary Movie 6. It was Sinners, Long Legs, Heretic, Nope, Get Out, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. I Know What You Did Last Summer, they did in the original. Is it the first Scary Movie, I think? I am gonna re-review that. I like the Wayans a lot. Ever since I did the Living Color review, I have been watching those every now and then. That was sort of my go-to. That and the Muppet Show. Man, that is a good Living Color. I don't know why Disney set on it. That's fairly good. It is also interesting. Heretic is definitely like of the newer horror movies, one of those that gets referenced a lot. I don't know what else I would put in there. I saw the director of I Saw the TV Glow quote tweet this and say, "Mr. Wayans, are you taking suggestions?" Um, I don't know what else I would put in there for a scary movie, but it's like, do you do A24? What era do you start with? I would want to do maybe Eggers, but how do you do The Witch? And you don't want to do that dumb like we cut to a random thing. Um, Terrifier. I'm a little surprised Terrifier's not involved. I'm not saying I like Terrifier that much. Same with Five Nights at Freddy's. So A24, I can't think of a significant one that's worth it or would be funny. You know what I mean? Invisible Man, maybe. I think people forget about that. The It movies, probably. I think that's the only thing. Anyway, how about this? If you guys, or you want to write it later, if you're watching this later, say what movies you would like. Those are just the ones I can come up with off the top of my head. But I would say, yeah. But I don't know, Sinners, Long Legs, Nope, Get Out. I'm surprised Us though. I'm surprised Us isn't involved. You know what I mean? Uh, but yeah. Pete Davidson's The Home. I forgot. I didn't see that. Although, isn't it by the Purge guy? Or am I wrong about that? I'll talk about the MTV VMAs a little bit. So here's the thing with the VMAs this year, which I find odd, is the VMAs. First off, it used to be on MTV, now they're on CBS, but it's half like a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing, and half like people who would be on TV. Barbarian, yes, you're right, Austin. Good call there. Um, uh, like half that, and then they had Buster Rhymes. He already did. This a fly, get away, fly, shoo, fly. Who did a big performance on the VMAs a couple years ago. It was very confusing, very odd. I saw the Sabrina Carpenter thing. I missed all the cool trans stuff. I was like, oh, that seems fine. Although all her songs, like, I'm not one of those dudes who like women all write songs about the same stuff, but literally all her songs are about fucking, like to an extreme degree. I was like, whoa, Sabrina. I listened to that album. And was like, like it's like all of them. All the songs are about doing it. It's crazy. Anyway, I haven't finished the podcast. I need to finish that podcast about the VMAs. I listen to song for song all the time actually. But it was very off and weird and I don't know, but was not I don't know, not a great debut on CBS in my mind, but I'm also like give the Video Vanguards like who please don't do those as much. They really sort of do. Oh, Nosferatu would work. All right, let's move on. Man of Tomorrow. We talked about it last time about how the script is done and how Lex is going to wear the suit. What we've learned since then, I think, is that the script is almost done. Blah blah, blah, and that Lex and Superman are going to work together. Supposedly, they're sort of co-leads in the movie, and that there's a bigger threat they're going to fight later. There's a lot of rumors that will be Brainiac, since James Gunn makes so many statements about what he's working on all the time. I fully expect we'll find out who that person is within the next few weeks, just because he does seem to like getting headlines on these things. I'm not someone to shit on him, but goddamn, dude, please stop talking to the press or tweeting. Like, holy shit. It seems to me to be Brainiac, but whatever. I'm curious who would be cast as Brainiac. I don't know. I almost want to say Jesse Eisenberg, but it would be. Isn't the guy from Venture Brothers was him in the My Adventure Superman? So I'm not sure who I would get to be Brainiac. That would be you. Actually, Lakeith Stanfield would be good, but I love Lakeith Stanfield. I think he would be the best choice because you need a wild card, and he's very much a wild card dude. Although it seems like he's kind of like being less wild cardy, probably because of money and stuff. But like someone like like that would be optimal in my mind. Get Paul Williams back as Brand. I'm not against that. And then I think people know this. Is I knew this before. That apparently originally James Gunn wanted Dave Bautista to play Peacemaker, but it was not enough money basically. And Dave Bautista, I think, was busy also, and it didn't work out. But yeah, I'm not too surprised. He seems to. By the way, that is a real Hollywood or any creative thing. If you see the same someone work with the same people a lot, that usually means they're nice. They're a nice person. If you sometimes it's just like casting and stuff, but if you see them work with the same people and stuff, then usually that means they're all cool. So anyway. Peter Capaldi is Brainiac, Cornbread. I like that. I like that. Yeah, it'll probably be an actor for him. But it could be a cool one. He's got a lot of cool cult. Just get Bruce Campbell. No, I'm joking. Don't get Bruce Campbell. That'd be stupid. All right. Warner Brothers box office. There's a lot of articles about this, but Warner Brothers, because they're now, we're going to talk about Warner Brothers, then box office, then the Paramount thing. Warner Brothers has now had $7 $40 million plus movies in a row. Seven movies opened to $40 million or more at the box office in a row with The Conjuring Last Rites, which made $84 million. Like, holy shit, with The Conjuring Last Rites. There's a lot of stats with that. But yes, they made 7 in a row. Pamela, the two heads who everyone thought were idiots because they let a black filmmaker have control and stuff, so everyone had to get mad. What? No, that's not why. No, I mean, the ownership thing I understand to a degree, but like the shit people put them through, even though they knew they were having Minecraft and Superman, but whatever. But it obviously, like, there was some, no one expected weapons to be what it was in Final Destination, and they showed they really knew what they were doing. And now with Conjuring as well. And it also came out that the Superman has made $100 million in profit. Some people said that's ancillary, meaning like TV airings, on demand, all sorts of stuff like that, airplane stuff. I don't know where everyone's getting this from. Just Superman successful, whatever. There's been like debates on like, did it have 125? Did it have 100? Who the fuck cares? Superman's a success. That's good. We'll get another one of those. That's neat. Leave it alone. There is some debate whether One Battle After Another will open to over $40 million. I don't think that'll happen, even though I'm excited. And there is a lot of good buzz about that movie. Like, it's supposed to be really good. Spielberg's praised it. Ryan Johnson's praised it. A lot. Like, Spielberg did a Q&A for that movie, which I know he's friends with Paul Thomas Anderson, but it's still, that's insane. So I don't understand why people think that could. I don't know. I don't understand. I get it's DiCaprio, but DiCaprio is not necessarily box office, although he gets paid like he is. So I don't know. We'll see about that one. I would like it to. I would like to live in a world where that's possible. I don't think I do. All right. Didn't he praise Flash? I don't think Spielberg praised Flash. He praised that Ryan Gosling thing. What was it? The thing from last summer. He did praise that, but all right. So let's talk about box office. We're about an hour in. We have an hour in. If anyone, sorry to do another super chat thing, I apologize. But if anyone wants to, hit me up. We haven't done the flashy lights thing yet. All right, box office. So yes, Conjuring made $84 million. What are all these stats here? It's kind of insane. Conjuring made 84, made more, had a bigger box office opening than Thunderbolts and the Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. It was the best horror opening of the year. Yes, beating Sinners and Weapons and Final Destination and anything. It's an all-time top 4 horror movie opening for Warner's, and in a third best horror movie opening ever. What? That doesn't. Whatever. It's outgrossing everything. It's the 4th best September opening, and it's the biggest. It's the biggest worldwide opening that is actually the cheapest because it didn't cost that much. Unlike Minecraft and all that shit, which did cost a lot. This one did not cost a lot. Um, oh, good night. Wait. Oh, sorry. I wasn't sure you're leaving. But yes, the Conjuring Last Rites did very, very well. It's kind of crazy. Coming in second, we also had the Hamilton. It's not a re-release because it never was released in theaters. So it's sort of a release, but it's not because it's already come out. Does that make sense? It's already on Disney Plus, and they didn't take it down. That I don't understand. Why don't they like go? You can't watch it at home. You gotta if it's in theaters. But whatever. Hamilton made $10 million, which is more than Jaws did the week before. I think Jaws gets re-released sort of regularly and has been in theaters before. But I am surprised that Hamilton box office was as much as it is. I didn't expect that. I thought it was weird they were re-releasing it, but I do think like you, there's other re-releases like the Black Swan IMAX and stuff like that. None of that becomes as big of a thing, but I think like if there's the pent up demand and it's never been on the big screen, I think there are certain ones like I bet if you did a big IMAX 2001, a lot of people have been asking for that. I bet that would do well on a slow weekend or something like that. So I think it's not a bad idea, and apparently Lin-Manuel asked Disney to do it for the 10th anniversary. I thought it was a smart idea overall. No, the Conjuring movies do have a lot of fans. I saw a lot of people posting like, "Oh, I gotta rewatch them all before Last Rites." I'm like, really? I don't know. I've seen the first three. I just have no real motivation for the new one. Um, I don't know. I also didn't like the second one as much as everyone. I'm learning everyone liked the second one, but I didn't have a great screening for the second one. I think the first one, but most people agree it's the first one and all. And I don't think I saw any of the spin-offs. I didn't see any of those Annabelles or anything. So I don't know. Anyway, Weapons continues to do well. Caught Stealing, I think everyone wishes did better, but it is not taking off at all. Freakier Friday is just holding on for dear life. But there's not much else to talk about. But I think I mentioned it last week. But yeah. Oh, and Superman tied with Sinners and Lilo and Stitch for 9 weeks in the top 10 box office, which is pretty crazy. Oh, we're kind of getting through this maybe early. We'll see. Okay, what are we talking about now? So the Paramount or David Ellison really. Oh, thank you, Manila Butterfly. Cheers to you, sir. Oh, they took away. Yeah, it's not doing as well as I think everyone. I mean, I thought it should do better because it's like a good. It's a pretty fun one. I don't know. You can watch my review. So I sort of had heard that this was a possibility for a while. So I'm a bit confused why everyone's getting as angry as they are because I sort of I don't know. Not that I'm pro this, but y'all can tell me what you think. Is that Paramount and David Ellison are considering wanting to buy Warner Brothers? There's been often talk that Universal would be the one to do it, not David Ellison and Paramount, who have said they would. They're preparing to make a cash offer. It was reported by the Wall Street Journal. Um, I, I, um, I mean, I don't know. It was sort of like no one thought Disney would buy Warner's, and nobody thought Amazon wasn't as interested because they've already have MGM. So it's sort of like, is Paramount going to do it or is Universal going to do it? And many people feel that since David Ellison made a deal with Trump to do the Paramount merger with Skydance, that they'll probably let him merge Paramount with Warner Brothers, since basically Zaslav was hired to prepare Warner Brothers for a sale. I don't know. I think it is inevitable, and I was kind of looking at it more as that. I understand people are like, this is why the Paramount Decree was created to stop shit like this. I also, the other thing that I know I brought up the Lasseter shit will be weird that he controls SpongeBob, and they very much put him in his studio on a side thing. But will that mean that Lasseter will then control like Bugs and the Looney Tunes? That's distressing. It seems like they don't want to have him do any of those things, but like it seems like if they're doing this, what is that that is a possible. That's a thing that could happen now. I don't as studios, Paramount Warner Brothers, I like the content they're making. As management, I think they suck completely. And David Ellison, I think this is a tremendously stupid idea because um he hasn't done anything yet with Paramount and he's already buying another studio. Like this is very different from Bob Iger buying Fox, where Bob Iger has a track record and has hits and has done things. David Olson has Paramount and nothing is like he's just announcing shit. And it's like I think this is too soon. Supposedly Warner's was like one of the things Paramount and Aldi, and I forgot to mention this. Um, they actually, for serious, moved stuff to 2026 that wouldn't perform as well in 2025 to make 2025 look better than it is, which is similar to what Iger did in 2019 with his slate. Although 2026, and most people thought they were going to have the merger ready for 2027 because of that's why they have Superman coming out so soon. You have a Batman coming out, then you have a Lord of the Rings, maybe Dune and Godzilla Kong. So or whatever Godzilla movie that is with Warner's. Many people thought that, but I don't know. I really don't think they should do it at this point. I think, like, I know David Ellison's dad just became the richest guy in the world. He overtook Elon Musk, but like they barely, the paint's barely wet on the apartment. Like I don't think having Paramount take over at this time is a good time for them to even do it. So for having less studios, I think that is bad. But I also think like for Paramount to do it now is a really bad idea. I think it that completely sucks. So like I don't think this is a good idea at all right now. It is not a good idea for them. Like it's not going to work out. It's going to be a disaster if they do it at this time, and it's also tremendously bad for the industry. Um, I just find this to be really really uh presumptive of them to think they could do this at this point when they haven't really they haven't rebounded Paramount yet. Nothing like they've just announced shit, which is not good. Like the the what could really bad could happen is if some of the stuff doesn't hit that Paramount's been announcing and they buy Warner Brothers, that this could all collapse, which I think is much more of a possibility if he actually buys Warner Brothers, which I think is a stupid idea at this time. So if I was him, I would wait until you had some hits and shown you have a proven track record. But I honestly think none of these guys give a shit and will just let it all collapse under themselves to prove some sort of a fucking dumb point, which I do not understand what they're doing there. I think it's a tremendously bad move. Legendary did move to Paramount, so okay, sorry. Um, let's talk about. Let's do trailers. I got a lot of trailers. So the first one is probably not one you guys have heard about, and it's one for Tubi. Tommy Tubi's got a new movie coming out, you guys. It was called The Takeout. It's about a basically a restaurant where the takeout driver is coming out. They see there's a serial killer on the loose that has this weird doll. They see that this guy comes in the restaurant and in his car. He has a weird doll, just like they describe on the news, and that there is a reward for his capture, which is a lot of money. It's just the three people are working at some shitty restaurant and are most people in modern society and have no money. They decide that they are going to basically apprehend this guy, and then they're going to make sure they have the money and then give him back, which I was like, I love that this is a part of it. It seems like a really cool genre thing. I don't know if it's come out somewhere or something like that. I'm actually excited for this. I don't know if I'll review it or anything, but I'm just gonna say Takeout or The Takeout on Tubi seems really really cool. I'm definitely into it. The other ones we have, I think these are 3 Netflixes in a row. Nouvelle Vogue, which is about Godard making Breathless. This is directed by Richard Linklater. This looks actually really good. I was not into this idea at all. It very much looks like the time period. It looks shot like the time period. It actually looks like a lot of fun. However, I sort of don't. I don't know. I used to really love the French New Wave. I don't not like it now. I'm just not as obsessed with the French New Wave. Is an amazing period in film and changed so much. I'm more of a 400 Blows guy than a Breathless guy, but it looks like a lot of fun, and that's a film I would love to watch a movie about the making of it. So I would we'll see, but I will say at least like the look of it looked very genuine, and I really liked the look of it. I thought it was a really I don't know. I was excited for the trailer. I was like, this is like film school kids are going to go nuts for this shit if they know. I don't know if French New Wave represents as much, but it looked like a really good, amazing trailer, and I thought they did a good job with it in my mind, or at least the trailer. We'll see. I will review that. I don't know if maybe I'll review Breathless. I know they did a remake of Breathless in the '90s, which my parents hated. I don't know anything about other than that. I think someone else like Monica or something. Anyway, um, I mean Godard. I don't. I have somewhere a movie. It's like Godard going to college campuses with Andrew Saris, and it's like the most film dork documentary I've seen in my life. It's just them debating auteur theory, which is like all people did in the '70s. Like wrote these long like auteur theory is this, but maybe it's that kind of shit. It's like it gets really exhausting. I'm like, guys, this system sucks. Like there's a reason. I don't know. There's a reason I'm not a Saris guy. Anyway, sorry. The other trailers, the Rip, which is a reunion of Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, and seems much like a movie Ben Affleck made for Netflix. When was that? Before COVID. I remember when that came out. Remember that? Anyway, it's about these guys who stop drug busts and they find a house that has, they thought like $300,000 and ends up having $20 million. Okay, and um um and so they're like have this whole debate on whether they should steal the money and stuff. I was like, don't steal that much money. They just anyway. It looks actually a better movie than that Ben Affleck movie. I think it's like him and Pedro Pascal's in it, and they steal money from like this drug kingpin in the middle of the jungle or something. I haven't seen it in a while, so I might be way off on. It's really not memorable at all. But this one looked cool, and it looked actually interesting. And I do sort of. It's nice seeing Ben Affleck and Matt Damon together again. I was actually reading. Well, I'll talk about Matt Damon a little later. I have a thing on him. But anyway, it actually seemed like a cool concept. I would at least, you know, I would watch that with a beer. You know, why not? And then finally, we had the trailer for Wake Up Dead Man, the new Knives Out movie. It looked like a fun trailer. I don't know if I'm as in love with these and or as mad at these as anyone. I kind of have a Triple Frontier. There we go. Thank you, Vati. Yeah, I forgot the name of that. I'm not passionate about Knives Out movies. They're sort of how I feel about Stranger Things, where I don't think about it, and then when they come out, I'm like, oh, and then it's over, and I don't think about it again. So except for I liked in the last Knives Out where Kate Hudson's like it's so stupid, it's brilliant, and he goes, no, it's just stupid. That's a great little clip. I was actually reading this. Sorry, this is a side. The Ankler, who I'm kind of mad at because they like the Wizard of Oz sphere bullshit. Wrote a thing about how TV now is dictated by all these weird clip things. Like there's always clips on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and stuff, but there's no way to regulate it, and there's no way to tell how many of the clips are online. And it's become this weird madness thing where like your show can be a hit based on a clip, but not based on your show. And it's like this weird madness thing the entertainment industry has no control over, which is kind of interesting. Um, anyway, the other two trailers, we have Song Sung Blue, which is with Kate Hudson and Hugh Jackman, where he's doing, I guess he's in a, who did Sweet Caroline? The guy, sorry, that guy, Neil Diamond, sorry, a Neil Diamond kind of cover thing. It looks like a sweet little December movie. It looks like a movie Hugh Jackman would want to start. I do enjoy him in action stuff. Uh, but it does seem like he just wants to do musicals. So good for him. I don't know if it'll be good, but I'm like, good for you, Hugh Jackman. And then finally, the film that's people are even saying Sydney Sweeney might have Oscar buzz. I'm not as sure about this one just because it hasn't won awards, and also because it doesn't actually have a really good distributor, which doesn't usually work out for movies like this. So it's not because I like hate Sydney Sweeney or am being weird and sexist or something. I don't know if this film will do that because of what I've read about the money behind it and stuff like that, which is not good for it. But the trailer of Christie as a movie looked good. So that's why I'm not pushing the Sydney. It's very possible. It looked like she's very good. Maybe she has enough. She's very smart, at least about promoting herself. Please don't do any more advertising. Uh, but the trailer looked really good for Christie, and I thought it looked. It's interesting how boxing has become this prestige thing. I have shot a review for the Iron Fist. Maybe I should edit it in the fall with these coming out. Maybe I should finally. But it was actually a good, looking at all these. But the takeout is the one I'm most excited for. So, all right. What is it? The Great North. I don't know if any. I've never watched the show, but apparently it's having trouble coming back. Um. Uh. Oh man, I used to like David Michaud. Didn't he do Animal Kingdom? Man, Animal Kingdom's so good. And then like I don't think I liked anything as much. Um, but the Great North might not come back. It's sort of just basically like in limbo, which I don't know what Fox and Disney are doing. Or is it just Fox? I guess it's not Disney Fox. It's just Fox. No one's sure because it wasn't announced in the new shows, and there seems to be Instagram accounts that are run by them causing doubt. So we'll see what's going on. I've never watched the show, but yeah, it seems like nobody. I mentioned it to people and they don't really know. So Fede Alvarez, I did see. I think the Saturday stream and the stream being close together confused everything. So I did talk about this last week. So I'll just pick up from what we know now. Fede Alvarez left directing Alien Romulus. The rumor was that he was fired because nobody liked that weird Slender Man alien thing he did at the ending. I didn't see War Machine. I saw the Rover or whatever. I didn't like that as much. But Animal Kingdom would be in my top 2010s movies. Sorry. So Freddie Alvarez, apparently the rumor is he was fired because the studio was like, it wasn't that good. And supposedly there was some friction between Fede Alvarez and Michael and Ridley Scott because he wanted to use Michael Fassbender's character of Michael instead of the Ian Holmes thing, which I don't think was a good idea at all. Um, uh, and but apparently Ridley Scott said no because he wanted to use him because he believes he's going to come back to Aliens at some point. Although Ridley Scott is like saying he's going to do other stuff, so I don't know when this Ridley Scott alien thing's going to happen. But it does seem like Ridley Scott sort of he gets to decide what's going to happen. You know what I mean? So that's basically the deal with that. But it sounds like Fede Alvarez was fired from most people are reporting, and they don't have another director, but it seems like somebody that Ridley Scott will approve of. But he's Ridley Scott, and he directed the first Alien, and I don't disagree that he should get to do that. You know what I mean? Like he should get to do that. We talked about so he was we talked about the Emmys a little bit last week. I know Arcane won Best Animated. I don't agree with that, but okay. I don't know. I didn't see that, so I can't just, hey, Buster, if you want to come on, you can come on. Or you can just chill. Buster's over here. We're not going to move the camera because that's going to be a thing. Rebel Ridge won Best TV Movie. I actually saw it playing at the Netflix theater over the summer, which felt weird. Like, that came out like last fall. What the fuck? But good for Rebel Ridge for getting an award somewhere, even though it's a theatrical movie. But Rebel Ridge is really good, so good for Rebel Ridge. And Jeremy Saulnier. There wasn't any other Emmy things that I saw that stuck out to me that I didn't talk about last week. In other things, apparently the rumor is Heidi Gardner did not ask to leave SNL. She was asked to, this is by Oprah. She wasn't silenced. Were you silent or were you silenced kind of thing. She was asked to leave. It was not her decision to leave SNL, which sucks. I that's what David Spade said on his podcast with Dana Carvey. If one of those guys is saying it, I'm going to take it as having some legitimacy to it. I don't know if you mind if I do that. We're almost towards the end of this. Sorry to keep saying the super chat thing, but if anyone would like to before the break, we're running out of time. Hey, Toasty Jackson. I am going to do a special lights thing during the review stream though, that I learned recently, so that'll be cool. Either way. Um, Kirsten Dunst has said we should about a Bring It On legacy sequel, whatever. Even though there's a lot of direct to video sequels, I believe. Says we should leave good things alone. And she doesn't want to come back to Bring It On. Good for you, Kirsten Dunst. She also has a good career. Like I don't. It doesn't work as well when the actor's just still around. I don't know. I mean, I guess Freakier Friday, but Jamie Lee Curtis only shows up in bigger stuff. But Kirsten Dunst is a working actress. She's in stuff, and it's kind of one of those things where you're like, yeah, I think it's fine. Okay, last thing. The guy Neil Berger, I think, who did All Quiet on Western Front and Conclave, although before he was acting like we're going to do a new Bourne stuff, is now saying he'll only do his Bourne movie, which Universal now owns, after no one else would buy it, which is basically true. I'm not trying to be an asshole. It basically no other studio wanted the Bourne rights, and then we just all sat around for a couple months, and they're like, all right, I guess we'll pay for it. I don't fucking know. It's not a joke. But he's saying he won't do it unless Matt Damon does. That might seem weird, but Edward Berger, sorry. It might seem weird, but I want to clarify this. And a couple of reporters were explaining this. Matt Damon is going to get a lot of bigger offers because Matt Damon is starring in the biggest movie of next summer, which is The Odyssey. He is Mr. Odyssey. I'm pretty sure he's Mr. Odyssey. Hey, Three King Style, how's it going? Matt Damon's clearly playing Mr. Odyssey. I've read The Odyssey, guys. You don't need to tell me. I'm good. He's Mr. Odyssey. No, but because he's going to be the star, he's the lead of a huge movie. Apparently, studios are prepping big things for him. So we will see a Damon, although he never really went out. People are like, oh, he's sort of been lower. And I was like, he was still in all the ads for Oppenheimer. He's still been in a bunch of big shit. Dude is fine. But we're going to see a bigger thing with him around the Odyssey. And supposedly that is why they're not... they're not actually going to recast Bourne, because they're like, well, Mr. Bourne is going to be huge, so why would we do that? So basically, we might get another Matt Damon Bourne if he wants to do that. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. But expect a couple other big movies with Matt Damon. After that, a lot of industry insiders have brought up don't directors are going to be bending over backwards for him, because much like how we look at sorry, my brain is but how we look at Cillian Murphy right now, it's gonna be Matt Damon for the next couple of years. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I mean, but also the trailers have not shown him very much. You saw him sleeping on a raft or whatever. So not a joke there. And and finally, Ricky Gervais is doing a show called Alley Cats, which some people said, is it Stoner Cats, or what was the blockchain cats thing that Mila Kunis was in? Why does everyone try to do this cats hanging out thing? I'm like, come on, Aristocats is the best one. Everybody knows. Goodwill, if they make Goodwill Hunting season, it should only be released on Tubi. I would love Goodwill Hunting season. Get the junk. Oh, that was the other thing about the riff thing. It was sorry. The Matt Damon, Ben Affleck thing, it had this long list of Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, a bunch of other people. And then slowly went Scott Adkins. And I was like, wait a minute, what? Scott Adkins into this. I would love it's this tense thriller, and then Scott Adkins comes and does some cool kicks and stuff. They never let him do a lot in a big action movie, but man, Ninja Shadow of a Tear. Oh my god, so good. And then I didn't see his other follow-ups, but I saw the scenes from it. Scott Adkins, underrated. Sorry. But yeah, the I don't know what celebrities thing with like we're gonna make a cats cartoon. Like, are you is Heathcliff and the Cadillac Cats is like every big celebrity's in their big big dream. Anyway, sorry. Woo. All right. I don't. The only obits I had, and maybe there's more people and I forgot, is Polly Holiday, who is a actress I recently saw her in Mrs. Doubtfire. She was in Alice is I know her more as like the old lady in stuff. Like she's in The Parent Trap. She's on their stuff. R.E.P. to her. I think we've all seen her in something over the years. I think we got to everything. Holy shit. All right. Um. Okay. I'm going to take a break for a little bit, and then we will do. I'm going to review Michael and Janet Jackson's video Scream, which will be interesting. I'm sort of hitting all the big um, music videos of my youth. And since it's been about 30 years, I figure, and this is sort of a big one. And this actually, I found out a lot of stuff I didn't know, which is going to be interesting. But I'll be right back, and then we will finish the show and do the questions and do all that fun stuff. And then that'll be, wait, where's the bumper? And that'll be that. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Thank you for coming out. Sorry I did the stream so close to the last one. But anyway, we will return right after this. And then we will talk about Scream directed by Mark Romanek with Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson. Okay, hello. Sorry to keep everybody waiting. That was a longer one there. I wanted to talk to what is going on with um uh okay, fucking YouTube. Wait, are we what? Why is it okay? Sorry. Man, I don't know what's up with Chrome lately. This is the quality is really not what it used to be. Okay. Um I'm glad the anime debate with Scream is happening because I have some things to say about that. All right. Is it really? Okay. No, sorry. I was talking to my wife for a minute because she was out. I wanted to talk to her before the show ends because I want to hang out with Buster right here. We've been hanging out a lot. Right, man? Oh, he's a good guy. All right. Sorry. Um, okay. I'm going to do something special with the lights that I recently discovered. I'm going to see how it looks. If anyone, I'm sorry I have to bring up the Super Show thing, but gotta, have the skills to pay the bills, I guess. So if anyone would like to, this is kind of the last half hour. Regardless, thank you for watching either way. But here, there's a music setting. We're gonna see how this looks. Hold on. I'm gonna see if it. Look at that shit. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, I don't know about this now. Is it gonna do that? Okay. Is that not. What the fuck? Okay, I'm not 100. Okay, what is it? Is it supposed to match up with? Okay, this is maybe not as cool as I thought it was gonna be. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, YouTube is all. Are you gonna keep doing that? What the fuck? Okay, is that gonna do it? Okay, no, no more, no more. I regret this immediately. Okay, never mind. I was like all excited because I just saw it do the pulsating thing. I didn't know it was the flashing. It's going by the noise. Does it really? What noise? Wait, does it? Hold on. What noise? I'm curious about this now. Let's just play with the lights. Hello. Yes, yes. Can you hear me? Is it? Whoa. Meow? What? Snarf. Okay, that's. Whoa. That. I'm not doing that anymore. Okay, sorry. Yeah, well. Anyway, did you stop? Okay. Okay. Sorry, I didn't fuck around with that. I didn't know it did it based on thank you. I just hit it the other day and I just saw it pulsate, but it was late, so I just like interesting. Interesting. It's stupid. Alright. It's really I'm showing off a dub late setting. Oh, I forgot to mention this before we get into everything. Um Me TV Tunes is starting its new schedule on Monday. Of the fifth is the 15th Monday. I'm pretty sure it's Monday. Anyway, if you didn't know this, from 8 till about like almost 11, I think they just play nothing but cartoon shorts. So if you're ever like, what do I watch, or I need something to watch for 5 minutes, something like that, to me, I just put on MeTV Tunes. But starting, I think on the 15th, they're going to start so Tom and Jerry at 7 o'clock, which means, and I think before that they have Huckleberry Hound, which is just shorts. So it means for like they have like from 7 till 11, nothing but cartoon shorts. So I really want to preface um, that um, you got to watch that channel because that is really cool. That you can just turn on and watch um, Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes, and then Cartoon All Stars. I need to do a review of just Me TV Tunes, and that's probably coming soon. There's a bunch of stuff I need to do first, but I'm excited for Monday because seriously, like 3-4 hours of just cartoons. I think the Huckleberry Hound show isn't moving, so it's gonna be that's awesome. Anyway, for real, like when in time has there been that many straight hours of just cartoon shorts? That's fucking nuts. So check out Me TV Tunes. Anyway, Let's get into. I want to do some videos from 30 years ago. I like doing videos, although I'm gonna wait till I put out some of these to see if people are as into them as I am. But I figured this is kind of a big one, and I actually learned some shit which I didn't know. So if you didn't know, this music video is Scream. Oh, sorry there, Scream. Got something in my eye. Okay, Michael. This all right. Today I'm going to talk about Michael and Janet Jackson's Scream. This is to my understanding, still the Guinness Book of World Records for being the most expensive music video ever at $7 million. Mark Romanek, who directed this video and is one of the great music video directors, um, said that he knows of at least two or one music video more expensive. He has never said what these are, and there's been all sorts of theories. I've heard the Janet Jackson Busta Rhymes video, Diz, and all this stuff, but whatever. Nobody fucking knows what this is, but according to what we know of music videos, this is the most expensive music video of all time. It's basically the concept is first off, it's a pop culture moment because you got Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson. Although I think he sang back up on one of her albums or whatever. This is the big like headline collaboration. She's a star. He's Michael Jackson. So so together, these two huge pop stars together working on this. This is a little different for a lot of reasons, and I think this is maybe more collaborative, and more collaborative in that Michael Jackson let more people in than any of his other projects before this and during his big superstar era and even afterwards, which I found actually really interesting, and I wanted to talk about that here. The thing with this is, so first off, music-wise, this is much more of a Janet song than a Michael song because he had Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, who I believe this is at least everyone says the first time he worked with them. I'm unaware if he worked with them again after or they remixed something for his remix album, because this is off History and there weren't too many Michael Jackson albums after this. But they were very much Janet Jackson's producers. And if you listen to it, it sounds more Janet Jackson-y, but at the same time, sorry, one second. 13 King, I'm saying like a regular thing is more my thing. The marathons is one thing, but like being every day, Monday through Friday is why I thought it was special. Anyway, just to clarify that. But it feels like Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis were much more dancing. And it feels sort of like Rhythm Nation-y in some cases with that guitar. I didn't get to look up who did the guitar, but I feel like it's most likely Slash, because Slash, Michael Jackson always hired Slash for shit. But I didn't look it up, so I'm not sure. But the guitar part rules. It was like this really cool, awesome music video where like there's like guitar, all those guitars. There's like anime. I was just getting into anime through the Sci-Fi Channel and through like Blockbuster and stuff. They had like all these cool sets. You had them doing all this crazy stuff. It felt like not the music my parents were into at all. It felt different. It felt weird. It felt expressive. One of the most interesting things I found about this is Michael Jackson typically, when he makes a music video, pitches the concept. He very much works with the director, but it's like his original concept, and the director works on it, and they obviously collaborate. But he's much more involved in the origin of the idea and going forward, basically. But in this, Janet Jackson picked Mark Romanek. Mark Romanek pitched this hugely expensive video of them in the spaceship and stuff. And apparently Michael Jackson liked the idea and he sort of just let people go. Like, so there isn't like the idea that we'll get to the anime thing because it's a little interesting. Well, so basically like he actually this is one of the few times Michael Jackson sort of like let another person come up with the concept and stuff like that. I sort of actually think in his later years he should have done that more, because like if you listen to the other songs on History, I actually had this as a kid, the double album, which one was an original album, the other part was a greatest hits. I wish he had just done this more often, because like it seems like a lot of people wanted to do interesting things with him, and he always wanted to do, like most of Justin Timberlake's first album, all the Neptune songs were rejected from Michael Jackson's album, actually. Like they've admitted this, especially Rock My Body, and I think the song with the I think Pusha T or the clips on it and stuff like that. Like all those were supposed to be on Michael Jackson's album. Um, and he just never opened up except for Mark Romanek. Now, Mark Romanek is an insanely talented music video director. He did Perfect Drug for Nine Inch Nails and Closer. He did this great Katie Lang video. He did Linkin Park's Numb, which is a great music video. I had his, I think I actually used to have it around here, his DVD, which was amazing, his director series. He was a really great music video director. So, like, if you're going to trust one music video director, he was definitely a guy to do that. You know what I'm saying? He was a really great music video director, and it totally makes sense that you would trust him. Yeah, and he even let this I found interesting. So apparently, they let three art directors, Richard Berg, Jeff Hall, and Martin Marvell. Basically, they had to make 13 set pieces. They had to do that. Apparently, they were going to shoot it really quick, and it ended up going over by a lot. But they let these three different art directors come in, and each got to do three sets: a complicated one, a not so complicated one, and a smaller, easier, uh, a vignette one. Um, and basically, the idea was they let these art directors go. It seems like interesting how often they let people just go off on this and let people be really creative. And I would honestly say, and maybe this is a little, I don't know if this is controversial or not. I don't think it is. I think it's probably Michael Jackson's last great music video. I don't think You Rock My World with Marlon Brando and Chris Tucker is as good as this. And I don't think anything he made after was as good as this video. I think this video is outstanding. But it's futuristic idea. Like I was a kid who was really into sci-fi and getting into anime and music and R&B and all that stuff, and this like exploded my fucking mind. I mean, it just like was so cool. There's all this anime stuff in it. It looked amazing. You had these two titans, they're both like dancing and singing, and their voices complement each other, and they know how to sing with each other, which of course they did because the Jacksons are a very musical family, and obviously they know how to sing with one another. But it really just felt like a real culmination. It's also got me into more Michael Jackson stuff because he because MTV would play at the time they would play all like when this was coming out, when History was coming out, they play all his music videos. I think for like of all time based. What is going on with this? It's not letting me. Why is the font all weird? They sorry, they would play like all these marathons of other Michael Jackson stuff, which I talked about in my Captain EO review. How they would play like Thriller and Beat It and Bad, and so like they're playing all this stuff and this video, and it was like, oh my god, this guy's amazing. Like, can you imagine like Thriller was playing all summer and this, and I was like, oh, who the fuck is this guy? Like, I hadn't seen it before. But anyway, the anime clips. Everyone says Akira's in here. In what part? I've never really seen Akira in here. If anyone can show me a scene, but everyone lists the list I found was hold on, this show called Zilon. There's Zilon. There's an OVA. What's it called? Hold on. It's OVA Babel. People say Vampire Hunter D and Akira. I don't see Vampire Hunter D. Maybe it was really quick or something. I honestly think people say Akira because it's like the one anime everyone knows. But I also know like he and Mark Romanek and all these people were really into sci-fi and this sort of thing. So like maybe I think the part where there's explosions on the TV and stuff like that. I love certain parts like those little rattle balls. Like I think my brother had one of those at the time, and I remember thinking that was cool. They like had this expensive video, but still had spray painted rattle balls and stuff like that. But yeah, yeah, Zilon. I don't know. It's especially like the thing where they're like he's doing this like I guess it's squash with like vases and stuff, and like that shot where he goes like he looks at the camera, he's like yeah, and you see like the ball crashing the vase going by him. I love that shot when I was a kid. I think that looks so cool. By the way, I think Mark Romanek should have made an action movie like. His 99 Problems is such a good, it's like amazingly good. Oh man, I really do love Mark Romanek. It bugs me sometimes that we never got a movie on the scale of his videos the way like Spike Jones or Michel Gondry or like some of those guys who really became interesting directors. And a lot of these people didn't hate Chan talks more movies. Um, but yeah, him saying "stop fucking with me," I know was a big deal and stuff like that. I like this video. I like it's cool, like black and white. Look, that's the other thing. This video is $7 million. It has all these like two huge movie star. It has two huge music stars. It has an amazing director, and it's in black and white the whole time. There's no color in this video. Like you don't even think about it. You don't think about it because there's so much futuristic shit, and there's all these cool sets, and they're breaking all this crap, and they're playing weird video games, and they're like doing Google image search with the remote or something, and like but like the whole thing is in black and white, the entire video. No one ever talks about it because it doesn't matter because it compels you so much. And I like how they're like up on the ceiling, and there's like they also do a thing that like there's all editing debate of if you should cut on action or if you shouldn't. I think sometimes it's fun to cut on action because you get a really cool flow with it, but man, this thing cuts on action so frequently, but it has such a great editing flow. Like when I was watching it this time, I was like, man, they like really go for it. Like it's just like, it's really good to like have head moves and do that and stuff. And yeah, and then the weird meditation room with the glass falling. Like, what the fuck does that mean? And it doesn't matter. I know the song is really just about like these upset the tabloids were talking about this child molestation thing, but this video is really cool. I really like this video. I like that he let Mark Romanek kind of go with this. I like that they trusted someone. I wish Michael Jackson had trusted other people creatively because I think like if you let Timbaland in or somebody like that, or Timbaland when Timbaland was good, somebody like I think you could have made some amazing stuff. And collaboration, especially with someone who could have collaborated with so many different people and done interesting stuff. I wish Mark Romanek had done more videos with Michael Jackson, which he didn't. Although he did do "Shake It Off" for Taylor Swift, which is fine. I don't really have. It's not one of my favorites, but it was fine. It's just such an amazing, visually impressive music video. I think if by the way, this is not a dumb engagement thing. Tell me what your favorite part is because I would just like to know because there's just so many cool parts and just interesting. And Janet looked cool with the short hair and like, oh my god, such a cool music video. Such an event and just everything. It's like expressive, it's weird, it's over the top, it's the biggest thing in the world. And it's strange as hell, and it's sort of like everything you want from something like this. All right, I think I talked about art directors. Come on, this is the show. All right, this is the end of the show. I'm sorry to do the super chat thing as much. Just keeping the lights on over here. But anyway, let's do questions below, and then we'll get out of here. Okay, I'm going to do Patreon questions first. First off, Austin is actually asking, and I'm going to post this in the chat. He says, "Hey Jim, hope you're having a good day. Sorry, hope you're having." Okay. Say, "Hey Jim, hope you're doing well. Having a good day. Great stream, by the way. And I'm going to do something different, if that's okay. Instead of my usual custom, I'm wondering if you could shout out to my buddy's Kickstarter for his indie comic, Greg the Comic. It has 17 days left, and it's really awesome comic. I haven't really actually gotten to look at this, unfortunately, because I found out about it today, and I apologize. But I will look at it later. But I'm going to post this in the chat, and I will edit the description of this video and say Austin's Kickstarter. So if you want to do that, you can. It'll be in the description of this video. Not right now. It won't let me post the link. Okay, whatever. But it'll be in the description. It'll just say the Kickstarter if you would be interested. It looks like a cool. It looks like a cool Kickstarter. It looks like a cool comic. Greg issue 0. Warning: dangerous content. What's it say here? The story is the first issue of the independent comic series Greg. Greg tells a story about a man so good looking that if you see his face, your head will explode. This issue, The Delivery Massacre, is the origin story of Greg's birth and entrance into the world. Greg is a super fun comic, so over the top and violent that it's just a whole lot of fun, and it's a really great intro chapter. Okay, so that sounds like almost like Chainsaw Man episode 1. See, I get references. It actually, the art looks really cool and interesting. I like the cover from what I can see. Oh, I like this guy with like a hood or something with the black. That's a cool design. Sort of reminds me of early sort of Mirage and or Ninja Turtles. But yeah, this test print looks cool and it looks neat. So, oh, I like this. I will post this in the Kickstarter. Oh, this is cool, man. But yeah, he's trying to raise money. It's for Austin's friends. So if you can do that, I don't know how close they are. They have $1,000. They're trying to get to 3,000. So check that out. I will try to tweet that tomorrow. Tomorrow's a crazy day. I'll tweet it. How about this? I will tweet it soon. Wait? Where's the Patreon? Okay, sorry, I got lost on all this. All right. Cineram, who I fairly certain is not here. Cineram said he's busy. He told me. Regarding the mystery Marvel movie that you mentioned last week, my guess is that it will be another Doctor Strange. I've read a while ago that Feige was getting Sam Raimi back, and in addition to Charlize Theron's Clea being added to the cast, it may also include Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto. There was also a Screen Rant article back in January that speculated that Strange 3 would have been an adaptation of the comic event Time Runs Out, which would be a great lead-in for Secret Wars. Have you read anything about the next Strange? Well, first off, the Doctor Strange, because you asked me a second question. The Doctor, I've heard that rumor, especially because Sam Raimi wanted to do his own movie that's coming out in January. I wouldn't be surprised if they're waiting to see what's going on. I think that would be a good idea because then you could decide, do you want to do more Doctor Strange? And that would be good to pump up the franchise, which is actually done fairly consistently. So I think it would be a good idea, to be honest with you. Another question: which MCU tease do you believe is the least likely to be followed up on? Brent Goldstein as Hercules or Harry Styles as Eros? I don't think we're getting any Eternal stuff. Especially like, man, Camille Nanjiani talks about that a lot. I was like, dude, stop it. I think Eros isn't. I think Brett Goldstein is Hercules. Hercules is a pretty bigger character, so I wouldn't be surprised if Hercules shows up. I'm gonna say Hercules. Um. Okay, Nathaniel Fogo, favorite thing in Times Square. In Times Square, that's the kicker. The Disney store is okay. It's sort of a mess in terms of just too many brands in there. Not the store isn't actually a mess. Um, I kind of like walking through because when I used to come into New York, that was where I would go. I'm one of the few New Yorkers who has actual nostalgia. I will say, also the movie theaters. I go to the Regal Times Square, and that or Regal Ewok, and that deserves a little more credit than it gets because that is actually a uh, um, it's actually a good theater. It has a really good RPX and all that stuff. So I actually like that theater. So I would say probably the Regal Times Square, to be honest. And I saw the day the Earth blew up there. That was fun. Okay, Cornbread says there's a Nintendo presentation tomorrow at 9 a.m. your time. It's fairly likely we're getting a reveal of the cast for the next Mario movie. Any last minute guesses or at funny casting choices? I'm curious who's going to be Yoshi. And like, who would be Yoshi? That would probably be the bigger one. I feel like everyone else would be the same. It's just they did key up Yoshi, and who would be? I don't know who that would be. I'm not sure who else they were trying to do. Like another princess, who would do that? If there's another princess, it should be Caitlin Olsen from It's Always Sunny. That's what I think. Emblity, when are you seeing War of the Worlds? I have seen it. I don't know, like, I wasn't like feeling getting mad at it. It's not good. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I should review it because uh I guess people would care and stuff, but I don't know. I was just like, it's not like the worst thing. I don't like it. It's obviously not good, but man, Ice Cube from America's Most Wanted to like that. Yeesh. Is it true that YouTube career only lasts 7 years? I've never heard that before. I mean, I'm still going. I don't know if this is a career or what this is, but whatever. Nathaniel Fogel, would you watch an Uncle Fester spinoff? Probably not, because I don't even watch Wednesday. So no. I have nothing. It seems fine. I just like the sitcom, to be honest with you. That's like my favorite thing about um, the Adams Family. The rest, it's like The show is the best thing. I'm just gonna have some because I need to get through this. Embletty question. I've mentioned an AI movie in the Philippines, and during its premiere, they only screened the trailer 3 times at the exuberant event full of rich people. What do you think that was all about? Sounds like it's not done. I don't think AI is gonna work out the way they all. I think they're just gonna keep pushing as rich people and refuse to admit that it's like a total failure. I think it'll just be a porn thing. To be honest, I don't think it's going anywhere else. Not plausible. Favorite Weird Al songs. I think I've said this before, but Syndicated Incorporated is actually one of my favorites. I know it's not. I don't like the Soul Asylum song that much, but I like the Weird Al song. Eat It is good. Amish Paradise, Gump. It's all about the Paniums. Smells Like Nirvana. I'd say those. Embletty, money laundering front, artistic amplitude, and operation similar to Argo. It's kind of, that does feel like what AI is. What was the worst scam that's related to AI? Is there one about like some weird guy who convinced all these ladies or something? And there's a documentary about it. I don't know what that is, but we'll see. Black Saxon Goal. Now that you're a big anime guy, when are we getting a review of the entire One Piece anime? I've never, man. I don't know. It is weird when I talk to people and they suddenly know all this stuff about it, and I'm like, do you what? And then you never hear them mention it again. I don't want to be like that with Chainsaw Man, but we'll see. Maybe I will. Best film that used IMAX the most effective. From Nathaniel Foga. That's a really good question. The best ones I've seen on the screen were probably either the last Spider-Verse movie and or Speed Racer. But the best I think that really used it was Ghost Protocol during the Dubai sequence. I think was the best thing I saw there. Interstellar was not as good as everyone thought it was going to be. Avatar was amazing. Like the reason I actually liked the first Avatar was because I saw it in the IMAX in Lincoln Center in New York, and that like kind of blew me away. So, but I'm gonna say Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol, but Speed Racer was amazing, and Spider Verse was amazing as well. I would say those, and The Walk. I can't think of what else. Man of Steel, not really. Batman v Superman in the sequences it was, I actually kind of liked more in IMAX. But I can't think of what else. Yeah, sorry. I think that answered it. Sorry about that. Emblet, which director who's made a current who who's made a current failure deserves a redemptive comeback? I wouldn't mind if Brad Bird comes back, even though he kind of fell off for me. Um, Nicholas winning Refn was such a big deal, and you don't hear anything about him now. And I would like him to make a comeback. I think that's it. There's people who I wish Sonnenberg was bigger, but I don't think he fell off. You know what I mean? Zane Powers, how do you balance hating Chris Nolan's attitude towards the general public, seeing Batman's, and the reality of people voting for Trump? uh, wow. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. I don't know. Well, I think one is one's view of the public as a whole as being cynical, and the other is a majority of the public thinking something. So Black Saxon Winkle, favorite soup. I'm not a big soup guy. There's certain soups my wife has made of like, but I'm not really into it. I don't like if it's lunchtime, I'm ordering a sandwich. I'm a big sandwich guy. Favorite soup, maybe chili. I don't think that counts, but I'm gonna count it. Embletty, you think they should release any cute for Empire of the Deep, the Chinese blockbuster disaster with too many directors and writers who quit? You should release the cut for it. Yes, I think. I was confused by that. I'm sorry. Cornbread, now that you're open to watching anime that was made within this decade, will you be watching Delicious in Dungeon on Netflix? I don't watch that junk, but maybe you should. It's important. I don't know what that is. Probably not. Probably won't happen. Chainsaw Man is just because of the movie, and I like the trailer. That's really how that happened. Zane Powers, have you ever encountered a problem where you want to discuss a piece of media, but the only people with have even seen it are all super diehards who blindly love everything. That happens to me a lot, especially with the Marvel shit. And they'll just go, "Oh, I didn't really feel that way about it." That's always the. And I'm always like, "Okay, all right, fucking hell, dude." Forget about the second Tom Holland Spider Man. I do not like that movie, and so many people are like, "Oh, you're too hard on it." I get that one a lot, but I'm like, it wasn't good. Also, like Spider Man outside of New York, I just no. It's either he's in space or he's in New York. There's no in between. Black Sabbath movie. Remember that movie from a few years ago that the entire ad campaign was all the big name actors and celebrities in it? No, but that does not rate right. Flimsy thoughts on Broke Man propaganda and with Celine's song right is this is a materialist related question, by the way. I have not seen the materialist. I don't think it's broke man. I think she explained a little more that it was like how capitalism dictates so much about our lives and stuff like that. I don't think it was broke man propaganda, but it's also like people who like make those long rants about that stuff are kind of weird people. But I haven't seen the materialists. I heard like Pedro Pascal got like Rivers Cuomo uh, surgery to make him taller in that. I don't know if that's true, but man, it is getting late. This is a late show. Sorry. Okay. Can I ban cornbread for calling delicious and dungeon junk? I don't know. No. Zane Powers, best and worst depiction of autism in media you've seen. I don't. I guess worse is that Sia thing. I don't know. What's an underrated thing to do in NYC? I'd say dollar pizza. People don't appreciate it enough. Remember 10 years ago when cartoon YouTubers would get pissed when characters would cause misery and only victims are punished? How would they react to abuse about it? I don't get the whole like reacting to characters like they're real people thing. I find that to be really stupid. Like it's like they're like you're supposed to review it as a piece of media. I just find it weird. Like I don't know. I've noticed people do that. And they'll go on and on like this character's like this, and I'm like, what's your point? It's like feels like they don't understand that they're characters almost. Should they make a Plants vs Zombies movie? I don't know what that is, so sure. Is that a video game? I think. Cornbread question. You haven't actually given a guess for Yoshi, so I'm guessing the metaphoric gun in your head you chose between Channing Tatum Yoshi, James Corden Yoshi, or John Mulaney Yoshi. Those aren't great choices. I don't know who would be Yoshi. I don't really think of him as having like a voice, so I don't know. I'm gonna go with Vin Diesel. Let's give it to Vin Diesel, not Ken Jeong. Jesus, when I wrote about that Enter the Dragon thing that he was supposed to star in with Spike Lee, I'm like, what the fuck is up with that? Is why did that happen? Vampire, what's a movie that people say captures really the best and they're all full of shit? Oh, reality the best and they're all full of shit. Probably Woody Allen movies. Did you see Cyberworld 3D in theaters? No, I don't know what that is. Awesome. I'm sorry. What is that? Is that like? No, I'm curious. Is that like one of those like? Anyway, Danny DeVito's Wario is great casting. I saw a report saying the Wizard of Oz and the Vegas Dome is making millions daily and will make hundreds of millions a year. Does that? But does the Vegas Strip always draining money cancel out? No, I mean I think people like it because rich people have bad taste and people don't want to admit that um, because like it's $200 and it looks like garbage. Like no one with taste would see that shit. Like I'm sorry, like you're seeing that because it's an event. And like I to me like why didn't they just remake the Wizard of Oz? I don't get that. Oh hey, classic Cameron. Uh said glad to make it to the stream right on time. All right, when are we starting the next? Just any minute now. Thank you for the super chat, the young man. Thank you. All right, let's do these last questions. I'm sorry I ran so long. I wanted to get everyone, and only so much you can do in a day, and whatever. You always get tired at the end of streams, but how long do you stay up afterwards? Same part. Oh, that's a good question. I wanted to hang out with Buster, but I think I'm kind of tired and I have an early day. Sometimes, if I don't have to work the next day later, if I do, I try to always 2 o'clock. I'm in bed. There's like, you know, when I wake up is the real issue, and I don't sleep a lot. But sometimes a little bit. But tonight I'm just cleaning this up and going to bed. But yeah, I mean, I get up at 6 a.m. every day, so by the time we're getting to this time, I've been doing this for too long. Question: did you ever watch The Sopranos? I've watched all The Sopranos. It's a great show. So yeah. Sorry, Nathaniel Foga. Another Nathaniel Foga question. Is there any other modern anime you know about? I know about Demon Slayer. I've watched certain Demon Slayer. There was like the one where the girls were working on an anime, and that seemed cool. And then I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. But yeah. Anyway, okay. I should go now. Thank you all very much. Um, Last question for me. What do we do to celebrate Vin Diesel's Yoshi? I mean, you gotta drink a big energy drink, I guess, for the diesel. All right. Thank you to the people who gave super chats tonight. Those being Bloxy Oxman, Nathaniel Fogo, Austin, Zane Powers, um, come on, YouTube, Zane Powers, Medela Butterfly, and Classic Cameron. Thank you all very much for your support. That is fucking awesome of y'all to do so. Cheers to you. I think there'll be shorts coming out, and then I will finish the Bad Guys too, and then uh, the music thing will come out probably after that. Thank you all very much for your support and everything like that. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, I think some cool stuff's coming out and all that good stuff. I hope you guys all have a good night and see some cool movies and stuff like that. And hopefully I get to see Weapons before the next stream. I'll let you know. But anyway, y'all have a good night. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. And I will see you all next time, probably on a Thursday. Hopefully on a Thursday. We'll see. But y'all take good care of yourselves. Have a good night. And I will see you all next time. All right.